What can we learn when we look at the differences between this, and this? That's right, my pedigree chums, the lesson is never judge a book by its cover, because BattleBit Remastered has stormed the Steam charts these past few weeks and put the likes of Battlefield and Call of Duty to shame. Why is that, you ask? Well, let Reggie and the boys explain all in today's review, so go and grab yourself a lovely cuppa. BattleBit Remastered is a bit of an old timer, born back in 2016 with just 4 blokes giving it a crack. Now it's had a fresh coat of paint and we'll get to that in a tick. But let me tell ya, this review is strange because there isn't a lot to explain about how BattleBit Remastered plays, and that's for bloody good reason. You see, BattleBit Remastered gets straight to the point. It doesn't piss about with nonsense, and that doesn't mean that there isn't plenty to love about it. So what you've got here is a military shooter where up to 256 players go head to head, blasting each other with tanks, choppers and good old American style Humvees. And of course you've got the usual suspects when it comes to classes. You've got the pussy recon units, assault lads, medics and all the like. And just like other games of this style, you've got your weapon unlocks. The more you snuff out an enemy, the more gear you can get your grubby mitts on. Now personally I've never been a fan of these systems, but that's because Reggie, he's a bit of a tosser when it comes to these games, as he's useless in battle. Usually I have Johnny Two Shoes do the dirty work. Instead it rewards the skilled blokes, but I reckon it punishes us poor sods who can barely fight our way out of a paper bag. So we're stuck with our pea shooters while the top dogs flaunt their fancy gizmos. But I digress. Now before I crack on with the rest of the review, let's have a chat about the graphics, shall we? Because I know some of you will look at this Roblox art style and start putting faces like you've eaten a sour lemon. You'll struggle to wrap your noggin around the idea of a simpler, more stripped back game compared to the fancy schmancy Call of Duty or Battlefield with their grand explosions and whatnot. But hold your horses, my young apprentice, because you might be too quick to judge here. While it may lack some of that graphical artistry, it's got something else up its sleeve, and that is its sheer scale. Imagine putting a 5 out of 10 in the bar, but when you take her back to your house, she asks if she can bring a smoking hot friend for some fun too. Of course you can, sweetheart, and this summarises BattleBit Remastered very well. First things first, a lot of the stuff you come across in this game is fully destructible. That means you'll be smashing your way through buildings, creating vantage points and using the environment to your advantage. And let me say, everything here runs buttery smooth. This game can handle the madness of 256 player battles like a charm, tanks rolling down the streets, helicopters buzzing overhead. It's a proper spectacle. So yeah, while you might lose a bit of that fancy visual fidelity, you gain it back in the sheer scale of it all. It surprises me then that Battlefield Bad Company 2 were on the right path here with the fully destructible buildings, but for some reason they sort of abandoned it. But let's not forget that even in this more simplified form, the game still manages to look artistic and bloody marvellous. Sparks fly when bullets hit surfaces, wind farms they cast their long shadows across the maps, and the textures, even though simplified, have their own personality. Now it's called remastered because a lot of the textures have been reworked significantly from the old gameplay. You can easily tell now what's stone, what's dirt or grass. It's a sharp and polished game, and once you've been playing for a good 5 minutes, you won't give two shites about the Battlefield and the like and what they can achieve in terms of fancy visuals. Just trust Reggie on that one. And that's because it plays like an absolute dream. Seriously, don't let the looks fool you into thinking it's some easy peasy kiddie game. BattleBit Remastered is as hardcore as they come, even more so than Call of Duty, because here you can take a couple of bullets and you're out like a light. The lean-in feature, for example, is a proper lifesaver. You'll be inching your way around corners, peering into building windows, just like Bill Crosby, on the hunt for that exposed soldier, only for a bloody bullet ricochet right next to your head. And let me tell ya, as a sniper taking pot shots at players, it requires some real skill. Even though Reggie is dogshit, it never felt unfair to me. I couldn't score in a brothel, so take what I say here with a pinch of salt. There were times though when I felt that maybe the hitboxes were a little bit lacking, where my bullet would pass through a bit of a body, but the developers are constantly working on refining that, and recently just did an update that improved that very thing. And with this windfall of cash they're getting, they'll be able to pour even more resources into making this spot on. You've got your usual assortment of mods and weapons to choose from, and let me tell you, the list is longer than the queue at the bar on a Friday night. Smoke grenades, recon distraction, mirrors, drones, claymores, you name it, it's all here. The battles in this game are intense, lads. With the sheer number of people on the servers, you never feel safe. At times you feel like Rico Strong's actress partner, because you never quite know when you'll have bullets coming up your rear. And when a whole squad comes flying towards you, it's a proper thrill trying to escape while hammering through walls for a quick getaway. The environments, they're detailed with vegetation, sand walls and street furniture littered all over the bloody place. Sometimes I'm sitting in a helicopter taking in the chaos below while trying to figure out what the bloody hell it is that I'm trying to do. But let me just say, even in Mr. Chaos, it's a sight to behold. Now, while this ain't no military simulation, don't dare mistake BattleBit Remastered for some lightweight shooter. It's as mature as any other game in the genre, and if you ask me, only Squad can rival it in terms of hardcore gameplay. But here's the important part, it's bloody good fun. Oh, and let me give a shout out to the player base as well. I gotta say, the community in this game is absolutely top notch. There's this little feature where even after you die you can still yap away for a few seconds on your microphone, as if the developers are encouraging a bit of banter between soldiers, and I'm all for that, lads. Here's my American cousins demonstrating so kindly in this clip, just in time for Treason Day on July 4th. Well done, lads, well done.
Yeah! Fuck his ass!
Yeah,
Fuck his ass!
Motherfucker.
Yeah!
You'll hear people role-playing, shouting out for a medic, or making funny death sounds. Players will risk their lives to come and rescue you, dragging your body through a hail of bullets to safety, all while shouting out your username to hang on in there. It's moments like that which really make this game shine. Sure, you'll have the occasional moron like you always do, just like Frank the Mank, but overall, it's a genuinely hilarious community to play with. Now let's talk about the sound. Got to be honest here and say, whilst I reckon the art style in this game is a real gem in its own right, the sound doesn't quite live up to the same standards. Now don't get me wrong, the rat-a-tat-tat of helicopters gunning down inventory sounds great. The diverse range of bullets sounds whizzing past your ears or hitting walls is satisfying, and the guns themselves, they have a wonderful sound mix to accompany them. So it ain't the variety of sounds that bother me, but rather the lack of oomph that's behind them. When you fire a sniper rifle, it feels lackluster, like you're firing a bloody dart gun, and them grenade explosions, they feel weak like a damn squib. The sound of battle from a distance is almost serene, even though you know there are 255 other players going at it around the corner. It lacks the echo of gunfire as shots are fired down streets, and it all just feels like it's lacking a little detail. Now I really hope developers give some more attention to this, because sound in a war game makes a massive difference, and I can't deny that games like Battlefield sound absolutely magnificent in bringing those battles to life. So here's hoping they amp up the sound effects to match the intensity of the gameplay. So when it comes down to it, BattleBit Remastered is an absolute gem of a shooter. It's hardcore, tactical, exhilarating, above all else, bloody good fun, and the reason it shines is because it knows exactly what it wants to be, something that EA and Activision could learn a thing or two from. It doesn't try to be anything else, it's a military shooter, and it requires skill and delivers bombastic battles. No loot boxes, no convoluted gameplay gimmicks like hopping in and out of helicopters, just pure and simple action. BattleBit Remastered accomplishes all of this with elegance and simplicity, providing countless hours of enjoyment that will have you coming back for more. And here's the cherry on the top for all of you lovely viewers who stuck around till the end of the review. It's available for a measly $15. I'd gladly pay double that for a game that has brought me this much joy. When you compare it to the $70 offerings on the Call of Duty franchise, BattleBit Remastered exposes the absurdity of flashy graphics and pricing without solid gameplay. In the end, it is the gameplay that matters most, and BattleBit Remastered has it in bloody bucketfuls. So until next time, my lovelies, Reggie out.